don't know at this time how much marijuana. There's a number of bales, good size, but the quantity has not yet been officially determined.
An abandoned boat used to smuggle drugs washes ashore, crashing into the rocks. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. That boat filled with marijuana was so badly damaged it sank into the ocean when attempts were made to pull it off the rocks.
Yeah, the Coast Guard first learned of the situation off Sunset Cliffs when it received a call about a boat in distress. It's the latest case of a smuggling boat found along our coast. News 8's Doug Kolk is live at Sunset Cliffs tonight with what we know. Doug?
Yeah, authorities are saying a person walking through here this morning noticed the boat crashing up against those rocks behind me, and then when the Coast Guard arrived, they had no clue it was filled with more than 100 pounds of marijuana.
We walk down here every day, and there's always something different. It's surfers, dolphins, drug busts, who knows? You never know what you're going to find.
It takes a lot to surprise a Sunset Cliff local.
Just another day in paradise.
Over the years, they've seen it all.
They used to have a passageway way down there where the Chinese were smuggling in years and years and years ago.
And witnessing a drug smuggling attempt is not an uncommon occurrence.
Not in big packages like that.
This is a first, though.
This morning, the U.S. Coast Guard discovered an abandoned boat bucking like a wild bronco against the Sunset Cliff rocks. Inside, over 100 pounds of individually wrapped marijuana bales.
The contraband was sort of hidden underneath the floorboards, so we had to try to break it apart with an axe to try to get everything off.
It was the topic of conversation with locals this morning.
We were wondering what's going on, so.
They watched as authorities loaded bale after bale into clear plastic garbage bags, which were then placed in a cargo net and lifted by crane.
That's a lot of marijuana. Yeah, somebody's going to be pretty upset.
It wasn't much later that the Coast Guard discovered several loose bricks floating hundreds of yards offshore. Here you can see the reaction when a surfer stumbled across a bag.
I just hope that they get it all. Well, there could be more, yeah. It could. I mean, there's currents through here and everything else, so it could wash down the beach. You know, maybe somebody in Ocean Beach will find it down there eventually. Who knows?
After a couple hours of searching, authorities are confident they did get it all, but are now faced with an even more difficult task: finding who's responsible for this drug trafficking attempt. Now, as we come back out live, you can still see pieces of the boat still floating in the water at this hour. According to Immigration Customs Enforcement, there was nothing inside the boat that would give them an indication of who was responsible. However, they do believe it made its way from Mexico. Barbara Lee?
Thanks, Doug. Now, according to ICE, this is the second attempt to smuggle drugs into San Diego's waterways this month. Earlier in the month, they discovered a suspicious boat at Torrey Pines State Beach.